president of my college class.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's been a long time ago.
It's been a while. Thank you.
I started on all of that in 1926. That was my first year there.
They left you on the back row, didn't they?
That's right.
And you go ahead.
I'm Steve Cecil. I pastored Decatur West Side.
Oh, you're better. Oh, you're the pastor there.
At Decatur West Side.
My mother was a member of the West Side Church for a while.
Oh, okay.
And Brother Barrow was there.
Oh, yes. I've seen photos and other things from that era.
Yeah, that was quite a time. My sister was a teacher in the school system there. So they moved. We were Missouri people.
That's where I'm from. That's where I was born and raised, in Missouri.
From where?
Missouri. I was born in the Boot Heel. Down southeast, southeast Missouri. That's where I was born and raised.
Well, I was born in western Missouri, south of Kansas City, possibly about 40, maybe 90, 100 miles, close to the Kansas line.
Okay. Down near Butler?
Yeah, between Butler and Rich Hill.
Okay. I've preached at Butler.
Is that right? Well, I've got one of my cousins' son is a pastor there of the Assembly.
Okay.
Ron, okay, my memory slips on me a little bit. He pastored there about 26 years in Butler.
That's a long time to be in Butler.
Alton, his father was Alton. I can't think of that last name now. But his mother was my first cousin.
Okay.
No, her father was my first cousin. I've outlived my time.
I used to know Dr. Louise Robinson Chapman.
Oh, you did?
I met her when she was, I think, 97 or 98.
Is that right?
And she kept in touch with me
Yeah.
until she passed away. And she sent me a cartoon. We wrote back and forth. She was at Casa Robles in California.
Oh, is that right?
She sent me a cartoon that said, "I've been alive so long, my friends are going to think I did not make it to heaven." So,
Yeah. Louise was quite an influence on the district.
oh, is she?
In the church.
Oh, yes. She was a prayer warrior.
And she married Dr. Chapman.
Uh-huh.
After Chapman died, Sister Chapman passed away. He fell in love with Louise and they married.
She was quite a lady. Woo! I remember before we left her little apartment, she said, "I want to pray. I want to pray for you." And she had my wife on one side and I was on the other. And I think at the time we were, I'm not sure if I was even hit 30 yet. I wasn't 30 years old, I was still in my 20s. And she started to pray. And she said, now Lord, and just that fast, I felt the glory bumps. The Holy Spirit just wrapped that room. And she took off praying like a house afire. And I remember feeling those glory bumps so strong I was afraid to move. I've heard people talk about God being so close you could touch Him. That was one of those times.
Yeah.
Woo, she could pray.
Yeah, she was kind of, Dr. Chapman ordained me.
Oh,
I
wow.
did.
That was before his wife died.
Uh-huh.
1932, I was ordained.
Hmm.
And I have a memento that I kept. Dr. Reynolds started my first minister's license.
Oh, my. Dr. H.F. Reynolds.
Hiram.
And Dr. Chapman signed my ordination papers.
And those would be treasures.
Yeah. The churches, the district, and the college has made over that.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me I'm the oldest Nazarene preacher in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not only that, I've been ordained. What is it now?
Well, he was
About
30.
about 82 years, I guess. Eldest ordained elder. And I've been acting. I had to quit preaching. I quit preaching as a pastor after about 50 years of pastoring. And I was then I took my throat bothered me. Pardon me.
Oh, that's all right.
I was in 1976. I felt like it was time for me to take retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I asked the district for retirement, and but I also asked them for a license to evangelist commission.
Okay.
So I kept on pastoring, not pastoring, but preaching until I was about early 80s.
Oh, good.
In revivals. And then I got to places. Dr. Benner told me, he said, I take meetings as I'm able to take them after the retirement. And then after I took retirement, I evangelized and I did serve as supply pastor.
Oh, yes.
And until I was in my late 80s. And I thought that's enough. And I felt, well, the call and the let up anyway.
Ask him about Uncle Bud Robinson staying in his home.
You said you had Uncle Buddy stay with you.
Oh, yeah, he ate at our table one time.
Oh, wow.
That's several years ago.
I guess.
Yeah, Uncle Buddy spoke in the church. The guy in the church, but he is old. He and Dr. Chalford.
Yes.
Chalford was pastor.
DS, was he?
And we had Uncle Buddy there. Had him for dinner one day. Yeah, Uncle Buddy was a great man, great preacher.
Elder Lilliness too.
Sermonizing, I don't know about all the great, but there was a uniqueness about his ministry. that God graciously used. People came for miles to hear Uncle Bud.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I have a recording of him telling about his hospital experience.
So you do.
That still blesses me every time I listen to it.
Well, he was I've heard him give it that hospital experience. It tickled me when he talked about the Catholic high priest that visited him.
Oh, yeah. I think he got to preaching to the priest, didn't he?
Well, he told the preacher that the priest must have been a chaplain. And he asked him about the spiritual. No, but said, well, God saved and sanctifies me. And I don't know how old it is, he said, but it says, that preacher just turned and tail, he didn't beat me.
Yep.
That's the priest.
Yes. Well, Pastor Corey was telling us that you had pastored down at Granite City, started that church and grew it large. I didn't know it was ever as large as what he said.
Well, I pastored 8 years in Granite City First Church.
Okay.
And God blessed the work there. We got to averaging, I think 1 year our district Sunday school average was 254.
Okay.
And we had on our list our Sunday school enrollment.
Yes.
Like 850, I think it was.
Wow.
Because we made a lot of Sunday school in those days. That was one of our main services.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the thing changed on me. When I left Granite City, we were running a good attendance. I forgot just what it was for that year, but we'd averaged ordinarily over 200 in Sunday school. But we had a big outreach. It was on the Cradle Home Department and the
Oh, yes.
prospecting list, 850.
Wow.
And then Sunday school, they had the home department, the ladies had to get out and visit the people.
Mm-hmm.
And they were working one year and above the young people. That's the teenager group.
Yes.
We had 3 good-sized Sunday school rooms in the annex, and they were so full they almost run out of the door.
Oh, that's good.
God moved. God moved. We had one time we had 600. I believe it was 640 in Sunday school.
Woo.
That's what time. And I made 1,600 calls that year. But not visitations, but knocked at the door.
Yes.
Or no. My wife made 1,000.
Wow.
We worked as a team.
Did you ever come across the Raker Evangelistic Party? Bud Raker, Bud and Mary?
Oh my goodness. They were pretty good friends of mine.
I was
I had
there.
them for revivals.
I pastored them up in Lewistown.
Oh, you did?
I moved there, and it's been 10, 12 years ago. And of course, they were up in years,
I guess they were.
but Mary Raker, Sister Raker I would go calling on them pretty regular, and she was always glad to have me come in, and always smiling, and Of course, he was real quiet, but his ornery streak always shone through. He was a little bit ornery. And I met his sister, his twin sister,
Yeah, I knew her.
and she was, well, they were definitely twins. They both acted alike, and they both had that same temperament.
I remember when the Raker twins were entering the idealistic field.
Oh my goodness.
My
I thought
cousin Mary was at Wilma.
Wilma, that's her name, yes.
I don't know whether she's still living or not.
I don't believe so. Both of the Rakers have passed away just within the last, I don't know, 5 to 7 years, I believe.
Well, I expect to know. She married again after her husband died. And I think he died before she did.
Yes,
That's her second husband.
yeah, he did. But in your years of ministry, I'm sure you've seen some great revivals and God moving. What are some of the great revivals that you've seen?
Well, one of the greatest ones I had under my ministry was when I was pastoring at Georgetown, right up the street.
Yes,
there.
uh-huh.
And they had an old church that they had built that was not really the best. But, and it had 4 great big posts in the whole of the roof of. And we had got the averaging in Georgetown in that church was about I think it was about 56 feet long and 40 feet wide, something that way. We got the averaging way up. Sometimes on occasion we had over 300 in that.
Wow.
Back down. And I went there to Georgetown, the pastor, Dr. Chapman. Dr. Starr was my superintendent. And I was pastoring a small church. And Georgetown gave me a call. And I didn't want to go because the parsonage was up there, Period.
Mm-hmm.
In the Shapen Museum. And finally, the church insisted that they call it there. And I told him, talk to Dr. Starr. And I said, Dr. Starr, what about it? Shall I go to Georgetown? He said, well, that's all right, Brother Leader, if you want to. But get all you can get the first year. Well, I held our youth revival in the summer. I was pastoring, but I had revivals occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted me to do that, so I came. And we started praying. The women in the church would have a whole meeting for prayer. And for about 3 months, I don't know how many months. There's a prayer meeting on Wednesday morning, and pray and start the storm. So finally, I guess we prayed through. And we was thinking of a revival, getting people saved, and we were holding on. Well, nothing seemed to be moving much. And Thursday night was our prayer meeting night. So one Thursday night, and if I remember right, there was some Thanksgiving on top of it.
Oh my.
We had prayer meeting. God broke in. 13 people hit the altar that night.
Wonderful.
Prayer meeting. That was the beginning. boy, and the people started coming. Night after night, and night after night. And for about 2.5 years, that revival tide carried through with victory of the altar, people finding God, and people candidate for membership in the church or Sunday school. And that continued to about 2.5 years.
Wonderful.
And we call it in revival meetings, men like Dr. Brother Savage and some of those. And they say, now this is going to be the end of it. Now we'll go. Revival continued on when the revivers was gone.
Good.
And that continued for about 2.5 years.
Wonderful.
Wow.
I had a great day. That's the longest revival I've had.
Yes.
But it carried on.
Wonderful.
It didn't mean we had service every night.
No.
The tide of revival was in the church. And I was in an outstanding revival in Freeport when I went there. Brother Shelton had me called at Freeport. Things were kind of dead spiritually. We got to praying, waiting on the Lord. Finally, a pastor, an evangelist had taken the field and had been a businessman in the church. I forget his name now. He was, I think, from Wisconsin. He was over in the meeting. Wasn't anything too much going on, but the meeting, it was good services. Finally, the last Sunday came. And we held meetings there about one revival I had there, but I had Dr. Brother Government for about 4 weeks in that big old church.
That'd kill off a church for 4 weeks of revival nowadays. They couldn't handle that.
Every night, too.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Well, the last Sunday, this meeting came, and it was a good service. The blessing of the Lord was on the service. And they started the morning worship service. And there's one old man, elderly man, Brother Jeske. He was a German, and they lived down a ways from Bridgeport. And he was a man, a spiritual man. And he was in that Sunday. They started to sing the officer, I don't know what the officer, anyway, the song was, "You never failed me yet." But the old brother Justin threw his arms, and he's a old German. And glory, 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 glory. Brother Chelton had arranged to come with some representatives of the college to be there that morning. And I had written Brother Chelton, said, Brother Chelton, we'll get the college money. Don't disturb us.
Yes.
Well, he said, that's all right, we won't hurt it. There, sure enough, here came Brother Chelton with the college. A couple of people with the college. But when Brother Jessica threw his arms in the air and we'll get this out, the glory of God fell on that place like a thunderstorm.
Yes.
I'm telling you, there were Sunday school teachers, and I don't know who all jumped out of their seats and headed for the altar, and a tide of glory came down that morning.
Praise the Lord.
I suppose, I don't know whether there's anybody there now that done that, but that was an outstanding revival service in one service.
Yes.
Brother Chuckleman went back, he stopped at Rockford. And the church there and talked to Brother Young, who was the pastor. And he said, what happened this morning in Freeport? They need it all over this district, all over this district, all over this district. It was a high tide. Those are two, one length, it was almost 1 day revival.
What do you think was the key to those kind of revivals? Because our churches don't seem to have those nowadays.
Well, they need some sanctified people who get on their knees and refuse to quit. You don't have revivals without prayer.
That's right.
Revivals are a visitation of God. There's too much of this dead formalism in it, getting bad. That's our trouble. And in my pulpit ministry, I was not satisfied unless the glory was on. We wasn't there to sing some songs and go through a form. We were there to get the Lord down.
Yes.
And for God's Spirit to move in the congregation while I preached. And while the service were on, the place of singing a song just as a formality, to sing with the mayor, with the meeting, and have a praying church. I think of that church at Georgetown. I don't know how many years we were praying before that long revival done. And some of the old, they were old now, were young people then. They used to talk about, will talk about that great revival.
Yes.
But it was born in prayer. The burden of prayer was on their heart. One of the disappointing things to me is a dead formalism that's thrown in on us. I've been disappointed in the church, but it gets dead. I mean, a lot of places kind of dead.
Yes.
Seems there's nothing but, oh, God bless you, son, we're good, I kind of have you, get you all right. But where is the testimonies today of people who say, glory to God, sanctified and be holy?
Yes.
You've got to have a sanctified church. And how many times do you hear people testify and maybe jumped up jump up during the service and in the song service and testify to the thing, how God sanctified him. And honest, it's hard for me to testify unless I've testified to such a blessing holiness.
Yes.
That's an experience that God gave me when I was about 13 years old. I was lying on the front room floor. And my mother was in the room there with me. I was ready to burn, heavy-hearted. I just laid down on the floor. And I had been on the religious side before that, but I had trouble. I felt like I ought to be a preacher. And I felt the constraint of it today. But at the same time, I wanted the picture show, and I wanted to smoke some cigarettes, and I wanted to chew tobacco. Now that was a funny thing. Feel like being a preacher and doing that. And that's the converted state I was in.
Yes.
But that morning, that day, as I laid on the floor, it was during the holiness tent meeting, I felt so bad. I stayed home. The mother was there with me. While I was on the floor, God spoke. And God said, can I have you? I said, yes, Lord. And the Lord said, what about your violin? I had bought a cheap violin and I just loved it. I said, Lord, you can have it too. I had David Moore said, Lord, you can have it, till I jumped up over the floor. The power of the Holy Spirit fell on me. The glory hit my soul. Oh, brother, I'll tell you, there was a change in me. I no longer wanted to smoke. I no longer wanted to go to the picture show. I no longer wanted my old way. I had died to my old way. I was a changed boy. I was different down in my heart.
Praise God.
And he believes that I was afraid for anybody, afraid of anything that might infringe on the will of God. Oh, brother, glory be to God. A sanctifying grace is a changing grace. It made a new man out of me.
Yeah.
I had given myself to the Lord. Then I gave him my all. And I still stand.
Praise God.
Glory to God. Well, praise the Lord. He abides, he abides. Glory be to God. Oh, I'm so glad for sanctifying grace. Praise the Lord.
Amen. You're a good reminder for us of the keeping power of the Holy Spirit.
Oh, yes, he'll keep you. If you keep yielding.
You have to continue to say that yes to the Lord.
Praise God. Now, when we begin to get people filled with the Holy Spirit, we're going to see victories.
When I interviewed at West Side, they were in a bad way, just about ready to close. And they were telling me, said, well, we're a holiness church, and people don't like holiness, so we lose all these people.
Oh,
And
shoot.
I told them, I said, it doesn't sound like you're preaching holiness, because holiness is attractive.
That's right.
To be close to God, to have Him intervening. I said, you may be preaching and teaching a legalism, but if it's driving people away, that's not holiness, because holiness is attractive.
That's right. That's right. That's what the world is hungry for. Huh? It's heart holiness. And I have just about decided the great work that Jesus accomplished when He died on that cross was the power to cleanse the heart. Now what did John say? He said, behold the Lamb of God that taketh away the sins, not singular, not plural, but the sin of the world. And that sin is the